Hey, look at that. Ooh, that's a nice bag. I'm gonna use it today. Sparring, man, it was just really bad because I wanted to impress my father the most. When I didn't perform at my best with him, or if I got hit and I didn't like it and I started crying, I would run away. I literally would run away from my father and everybody. They would look for me. This is me at 8 years old running away, my father having to call the cops. And I put my father through a lot of mess. And I would cry all the time. I would embarrass him because I would cry while he was in the corner. I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. And that's why I never really liked sparring. It wasn't because of that I wasn't good enough. I believe it was just the fact that I was so hard on myself.
There you go. What's happening? There you go. Look, another level back. You. Gotta relax. You gotta hold your breath.
When you examine how Teofimo Lopez is preparing for Shakur Stevenson, it's clear this camp isn't built around raw explosiveness anymore. Instead, the focus appears to be on controlling his impulses and managing his natural aggression.
Pero jamás, man.
You gotta listen to my mouth.
I haven't felt.
You need to go to the field and live in that fucking field. Live in it.
Okay.
No motherfucking, no health spa, no freaking none of that shit. No health quest. I want you living in that field. That's all we need, bro.
Coach ain't having it today.
No, bro, because I see what's going on, bro. 1, 2.
Can I come back with a hook?
Okay.
Slip.
All signs point to a hard reality. He's being pushed to confront. Starting fast and burning hot doesn't work against Shakur. It only drains you faster under the spotlight. So this camp is intentionally uncomfortable. Long, grinding round with no room to coast. No reliance on highlight moments. Just non-stop movement, steady output, and being forced to punch even when fatigue starts screaming.
The hardest parts for me was getting my butt whipped in sparring and losing. I hated losing. I hated failure. I always hated it because like I said before, I wanted to become a perfectionist.
It's the first time I ever felt like so out of it. So out of shape, bro. Like, and it's crazy. We've been working, so I can't quite understand it, but coach is like, we just gotta keep running. I ain't doing enough of it, so. But other than that, it's just part of it. There's a reason why we start, before, we do all this stuff too, is to make sure that we prevent any of these things happening when it comes to an actual.
The biggest adjustment is unlearning that old habit. Cutting off the ring, launching one big shot, then pausing to admire it. Against Shakur, that gets punished. Now it's about tighter footwork, shorter punches, and layered combinations that don't look spectacular, but wear you down over time, even when they land on guard, arms, or shoulders. And sure, it sounds dull until you realize those blocked shots still take territory, shrink escape routes, and disrupt rhythm. The footwork drills almost feel ironic if you're used to Teofimo's highlight reel hops, because the new rule is simple: no jumping in. Just steady, creeping pressure, like a bill collector who never leaves your head. This camp might be tougher than any weight cut, because Teofimo has to stop thinking knockouts and start thinking rounds. That's like asking a race car to learn patience in traffic. He's being taught to vary tempo, apply pressure without always punching, punch without rushing, and make Shakur uncomfortable without handing him easy reads.
Yeah, add some flips in it. Add some flips. There you go, man.
Woo!
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
You know, my mind is limitless, so, you know, so then again, it's like I could always succeed to another level with it, you know, and exceed to it. So it's really just trying to just keep it going, you know, keep moving forward throughout the whole time and throughout the whole process, and mainly just have fun with it. You know, you gotta have fun with what you do. You know, I love this. You know, I haven't stopped doing what I've done because of the fact that I enjoy what I do. You know, this has been 20 years in the making.
The opening rounds are being handled with extreme care, not because he's hunting an early finish, but because shaking confidence matters before control takes over. The real question isn't whether Teofimo can hurt Shakur. It's whether he can remain composed when nothing lands clean at first. The moment he starts chasing a highlight, he's in trouble. But if he commits to staying disciplined, awkward, and relentless, he gives himself a genuine chance.
1, 2. Right hand again. Give me that right hand, baby. Give me that right hand.
Don't show it.
Don't show it. Okay, go. Go.
Come over here.
Too fast for me. Go. Over there. That's it.
After unpacking Teofimo's camp, reshaping him from a highlight chaser into a methodical pressure operator, Dan Rafael steps in to explain why this matchup carries more weight than just strategy diagrams and talking points. He made a point that often gets overlooked when debates spiral into surface-level takes.
You know, Teofimo's been a bona fide world champion in 2 divisions. He was the champion at lightweight, you know, had most of the belts, defeated Lomachenko. You know, he did suffer the upset loss to Kambosos. There were some physical issues there that we didn't know about going into the fight, not to make excuses for him. But regardless, he came back.
Teofimo has a track record of elevating himself when the moment actually matters. He didn't shine after the Kambosos loss and wasn't always crisp in the fights that followed. But when Josh Taylor was across the ring and the stakes were real, he dialed in and delivered. That history matters because certain fighters respond differently when the lights get brighter.
And, you know, even though maybe he didn't shine and scintillate maybe in some of those fights after that, when it came time to step up and take on the champ, which was Josh Taylor, he shined in that fight. So when Teofimo is matched, you know, in a big time opponent, you know, he's delivered, and he's done it, you know, a number of times.
At the same time, Dan made an important observation about Shakur's resume that often gets overlooked. When the criticism got loud, when fans were calling him boring, Shakur responded by doing the one thing people said he wouldn't. He stayed right in front of Zepeda, held his ground, and shut the narrative down with action, not talk. What Dan framed so well without forcing hype is the irony in how these fighters are discussed. We keep acting like they shrink when the pressure rises, yet history shows the opposite. When expectations hit their highest point, both Shakur and Teofimo don't panic or fold. They adapt.
Shakur Stevenson gets the job done. He has won titles from featherweight up to lightweight. You know, when his back was against the wall, quote unquote, and everybody had big expectations. You know, what did he do in his last fight against William Zepeda? He stood in the pocket, he fought the guy, and he won handily. He shut him out, basically. He won like 10 rounds.
When Dan brought up their shared history, Top Rank, the Olympics, those early Crawford undercards, that's when it stopped feeling like a random fight and started feeling inevitable. Like 2 timelines that have been running parallel for years are finally colliding. And the Madison Square Garden point really landed because New York doesn't reward nonsense. It rewards control. It rewards composure. That building doesn't care about explosions unless they're earned. In that environment, Teofimo's pressure is either going to get sharpened into something disciplined and dangerous, or it's going to suffocate under its own impatience.
It started off, you know, a little bit heavier than Shakur, but they would eventually catch up to each other. They're both Olympians, by the way. Teofimo you know, he's American, but he fought for his parents' country of Honduras. In that same Olympic Games, it was Shakur Stevenson winning a silver medal for the United States. I mean, they have all kinds of accomplishment. I do think they have a healthy respect for each other.
Dan isn't selling drama. He's selling context. And context is dangerous because it strips excuses away. No weird location. No travel fatigue. No novelty crowd. Just 2 elite fighters 5 minutes from home, fighting in a building where reputations stick. We keep arguing styles, but Dan is quietly saying this isn't about tactics anymore. It's about credibility. Who actually owns their past accomplishments when the lights are unforgiving? You can joke about boring. You can joke about explosions. But when the bell rings at Madison Square Garden, history doesn't care about preferences. It only remembers who showed up when the stage finally matched the talk.
Kind of fight that belonged in America, and it didn't belong in Las Vegas. It belongs in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Teofimo is from Brooklyn. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey, which is a 5-minute train ride from Midtown Manhattan. I mean, it's got everything you want to see. The Garden hasn't had a lot of big fights in the main arena over the last few years. The last one they had was the third fight between Katie Taylor and Serrano. But before that, it'd been, a couple years, I think, since they had a main arena fight. So this is a big time fight.
Right after Dan framed this as legacy meeting timing and location, Lonnie B jumps in and pulls the conversation out of the press row comfort zone. His angle as it resumes, its unpredictability. Lonnie praised Shakur as near perfect, punches snapping off without warning. It sounds like a simple compliment, but it carries weight. Flawless fighters don't get a second chance when the unexpected hits at the same time. He stressed that Teofimo moves with the kind of athleticism you just can't plan for pure Roy Jones-level energy. Anything can happen in a heartbeat. That's where this matchup stops being neat and tidy and starts feeling alive.
You got, listen, both are extraordinary talents. Extraordinary talents. Shakur, oh my God, flawless. Don't telegraph his punches. They come right out the holster. They come right out the clip. You got Teofimo, who's extremely athletic. He reminds me of Roy Jones. You never know what he's gonna do. And it's kind of hard to train for somebody like that because you don't know what Teo's gonna show up.
I loved how Lonnie kept emphasizing that you never really know which Teofimo will show up. Not as an excuse, but as a real warning. Because the version that rose to the occasion against Josh Taylor didn't ask for permission. He just owned the night. When Lonnie pointed out that Teofimo matches the level of his competition, that landed hard. Because Shakur is exactly the type of opponent who forces you to either rise or look ordinary in slow motion. He also added a detail most people miss. Shakur can't relax on the ropes here. Once Teofimo finds his comfort zone, he becomes a moving problem, carrying confidence with every step. And that's not about fear, it's about rhythm.
Josh Taylor.
Okay.
Look what he did to Josh Taylor. Oh my God. I mean, just playing with him. Just hitting him with big shots, just doing whatever he wants, styling on him. So you can never count Teo out. You can never count Teo out, man. He's, like I said, an extraordinary talent, but so is Shakur. I do think Shakur can't lay on the ropes like he do. I think Shakur he got to be a lot more active this fight. Because once you let Teo get in this groove, he's a hard train to stop, man. And he's athletic. You never know what he's going to do.
What really hit me was Lonnie refusing to pick a favorite, calling a coin flip. Not because he's unsure, but because he sees this as a battle disguised as skill. He said it plainly. This isn't about who looks better on paper. Technically, it's about who has that I'm not losing tonight mindset, the kind of mentality you see in legends like Jordan or Kobe. And I get him, because both fighters are elite. Both are exceptional. But only one of them will truly impose their will when the room gets uncomfortable. You can prepare all you want, but when that bell rings, someone's identity is being challenged in real time. That's why Lonnie didn't hesitate at 50-50ths. That wasn't indecision. It was respect for just how razor-thin the margin really is.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I can't wait to see it. I got it a 50-50 fight, depending on who can impose their will.
50-50?
Yeah, I got a 50-50.
You don't got who gonna win? We can't go 50-50. Somebody got to win it. This ain't not gonna be no draw.
See, like I'm just like I can't pick a winner because it's like I can see Shakur winning it, and I also can see Teo winning it.
Okay.
And I can see Shakur winning it. Then I can see Teo winning it. Then it's like, well.
Right after Lonnie framed this as a coin flip battle wills, Zab Judah jumped in and completely shifted perspective. He wasn't debating potential outcomes. He was laying down the fundamentals. Zab explained that Teofimo can't overcome what he can't connect with. And that's not empty hype. That's the inside of a seasoned fighter who's felt punches missed by inches and watched confidence wobble in real time. When Zab talks about Shakur, it's like he's describing someone moving in and out of another dimension. It's not exaggeration. It's lived experience. He isn't doubting Teofimo's talent. He's highlighting how the styles clash. According to Zab, Shakur dismantles opponents methodically, breaking them down structurally, step by step. That's particularly dangerous for Teofimo, who thrives on rhythm and reaction. Zab also emphasized Shakur's mental consistency. He doesn't swing wildly from fight to fight. He doesn't lose focus, and he doesn't unravel under pressure. That steadiness is a stark contrast to the volatility and unpredictability Teofimo can bring, which makes the matchup all the more fascinating.
Teo's a good fighter, but this type of style Teo possesses, you're gonna break him up. You're gonna break him up. You can't beat what you can't hit. You can't. It is impossible. That boy ain't nothing to f around with.
Right.
Poor boy, he's something out of the Matrix Part 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. He you know what I'm saying? He pulling shit away and hit you with. Well, come on. I'm loving him. He's dope. I mean, I always spoke highly of him. Always.
When Zab mentions Madison Square Garden, he's not just talking about the location. It's about the atmosphere. The energy of New York, Newark, Brooklyn, packed arenas. Fans wearing winter coats, no neutral corners. Every step is pressure. He connected it to that Crawford-style mindset. We don't do things normally. And it clicked because that camp feels like it's daring the sport itself to keep up. Zab wasn't predicting a wild brawl. He was describing a type of suffocating control. Teofimo might keep swinging, but Shakur maneuvers as if the ring itself is shifting beneath him. What stands out is Zab's confidence. He didn't hedge. He didn't give a 50-50. He called it straight, dismantle. And while that sounds intense, it highlights just how precise and dominant Shakur can be when styles clash at the highest level.
Buddy McGirt says it has to happen in the Garden. What do you think?
100%. That only makes sense. That only makes sense. That's a Garden 100% fight. Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. That's all of New Jersey, because Shakur represents more than Newark. You know, he was the whole New Jersey and then the whole New York clashing in New York City. I like it at the Barclays.
You can argue about raw power versus speed or highlight real moments. But Zab Judah is basically saying that doesn't matter if the opportunity to land clean shots never comes. If Teofimo can't connect, everything else fades into noise. When you put all the pieces together, the shape of this fight becomes clear. Teofimo is being trained to fight against his own instincts, while Shakur is preparing to punish every lapse. Every voice we've heard frames it differently. Dan Raphael emphasized legacy and timing. Lonnie B highlighted willpower versus unpredictability. And Zab cut straight to the hard reality of access and control. Point one fighter is trying to create chaos without losing himself. The other is aiming to turn chaos into routine. This isn't just hype versus criticism or flashy versus cautious. It's discipline clashing with volatility on the sport's brightest stage. Each round asks the same quiet question: who stays true to themselves when the plan starts to wobble? That's why this matchup never feels settled. It lives in the margin and patience, and in subtle moments that don't announce themselves. Drop your thoughts in the comments, dig in and debate. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.